see the tornado. It was to our west-northwest at that time.
In Santa Fe, tornado on the ground.
You folks in the Edmond area, this is serious. Take your tornado precautions right now.
It is just south of Edmond Road, I would say approximately Broadway extension, maybe further west.
Just a brief update, damage is being reported now in Edmond, Oklahoma, just north of Oklahoma City, and that tornado possibly still on the ground. Let's go to Doppler radar.
My cousins. They are so fun. I miss them. We have huge political differences, and then you just get busy with life and you make excuses, and you're going to call them next weekend and then the next weekend, and then 10 years goes by. And then I was standing there thinking, that's all bullshit. Life slips away too fast. If we just avoid certain subjects, we have a blast.
Needed some time to clear my head, 'cause I've made all the mistakes and I've dealt with the heartbreaks, but I think that I found my way.
Last night went to that party and I got an email from a producer I worked with a million years ago on The Three Stooges. He worked for one of the producers and now he's producing, because that's the way that works. He's making a movie in Washington, of all places. Of course, I'm halfway across the country and there's a potential film at home. That is actually the way that life works in our business. The minute you plan a trip is when you're going to get a job. I am going to meet with him tomorrow. If it's the right project, then it's worth it. The timing looks like I would have to cancel my Ireland, but I could still probably make it to North Carolina and see my mom and my sister. Some things that have to be figured out. You know, I have to know details about the script and meet the director and see if we share a vision and if it is something that we both could do. I'm actually very excited that they're just thinking about doing a movie in Washington. It's such a beautiful, really special place. It's very unique. So hopefully it's the beginning of a little bit of a wave in Oregon and Washington. Anyway, that's the update on work. Regardless, I'm still gonna keep going and just gonna keep documenting it all, because this is all part of the same crazy year of just the unknown.
I think that I'm finding my way right back to.
For 4 days, I tried not to get my hopes up about a job, but also was clinging to the idea that my life is bound to get better, as I tried to explain to family members that there are lulls in our business, but that this has never happened, never longer than 6 months, certainly not years without work. It's a situation where everyone means well, they just ask a lot of questions, and I find it very stressful, but it was amazing to catch up. I got to see my childhood best friend's parents and see cousins and see their daughters all grown, and the time flew by. I got up to leave town early so that I could get on the road and be well into Arkansas before my interview, but it occurred to me that I hadn't driven around much. There were places that I wanted to see before I left. The first stop was St. John's Catholic Church, where my grandmother was the housekeeper for the priests my entire childhood, and where I spent countless days running around the rectory and the new church. It was a huge part of my childhood. I headed over to the post office after that, to the memorial that I hadn't seen. I'm actually embarrassed to say that I've never visited, because I have been back to Oklahoma several times since it was erected in 1989. But being there early in the morning before the post office was open, before really the town seemed to be awake, I suddenly remember vividly that summer morning riding around on my bicycle just after dawn. It had been a really hot summer. Remember getting up early and always going out to ride my bike. If you've ever heard the term going postal, it's because my hometown was where a mass fatal shooting happened on August 20th, 1986. I was 9 years old when sirens erupted. I wasn't close to my mailman, but I knew his name was Mike, and that my grandparents' mailman was also named Mike, just like my uncle. You know how it is when you're a kid, you associate common names to the people that you know. When I pointed out that my brother Matthew also had a common name, he said, "You can call me Rock. That's what my friends call me." Turns out the two Mikes were actually friends, which shouldn't be surprising in a small town working at the same post office. And they would say hi, and they were friendly. And I was a kid who was sometimes really quiet, and other times you couldn't shut me up. And when it came to Rock, he brought me my weekly reader books, and I liked chatting with him because he was an adult that I wasn't related to, and that seemed cool. The tragedies of that day are many, and one of them is that one Mike survived and the other did not, but they were both shot. There were a number of traumatic things that happened in that small town in the span of like 2 years during the mid-'80s, between tornadoes that touched down and destroyed entire neighborhoods, a triple homicide at the local grocery store right around the corner from my house, a violent murder and rape that became a cold case for 18 years that drew multiple podcasts and true crime focus. And when I think back to all of it, I realize that there are certain paranoias and fears that developed in my own childhood from being in that environment. Don't think I ever realized it until I was driving out of town and I thought, there are so many things that make sense. This road trip gave me moments where I thought about things in a new way, and I could suddenly understand why all I wanted to listen to were funny books. Like Kevin Wilson's Run for the Hills.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard tonight.
The amount of speed traps was the only interesting thing, really. All the way to Fort Smith, Arkansas, where I was going to stop and have my meeting with the director. I'd never been there or even heard of it, but what an adorable town. The amount of street murals was so unexpected that after my meeting, I ended up driving all over trying to find them.
The road tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair.
Don't miss the Unexpected Project, which is a series of murals all over Fort Smith by international artists that are just absolutely stunning. There was a bookstore I was hoping to find too, and I ended up just driving in circles for so long that I got very frustrated. But the street art was worth the stop. The meeting went great. We actually caught up on some old times and really went down memory lane, which was lovely. I didn't mind that the budget was small. I've worked on a wide range of projects. With the way production's been, work is work. But in order for me to cancel my trip to Ireland and the UK, and to cut my trip short visiting my mother, I had to have my union healthcare benefits. It was the only requirement, and this producer couldn't guarantee that. He did say he'd do everything he could to make it happen, and we scheduled a meeting with the director that would be in 2 days. That means I had a script to read and a presentation to put together, so I decided to cut my trip in Tennessee short. As I drove around Fort Smith and then after that Conway, Arkansas, looking for bookstores that for some reason I couldn't find anywhere, I decided I would only spend 1 day in Nashville and then go straight to my sister's in North Carolina a day early so I could prepare for my interview. 25 years in the film business has taught me that you have to think on your feet and you often have to pivot and do things unexpected on the fly. So I stopped for the night in Memphis, and the friend I was going to visit there actually took a job the week before in Los Angeles, so I was on my own for the night. I went to bed early, got up early, and next time I'll share with you my very quick trip through Nashville that included the ultimate bookstore, Parnassus Books. I experienced my first camping fail that led me to drive half the night and then sleep in my car at a rest stop. And I arrived in North Carolina on 9/11, which is a somber anniversary not only for the world, but for our family.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind.
Stay tuned for the weeks I spent in North Carolina having adventures with my family, sharing my mom's last days, taking my niece to a movie premiere in New York, and discovering what it means to have a turning season. Come along for the journey across the US and Ireland. Share these videos with your adventure-loving friends and leave a comment. I love knowing how you found my channel.